The Athletics had a great win in game number 1 today, 7-5 the final, as they were able to knock out Ohio Elite. On the opposite end, it is the 1 seed and tournament favorite Premier Ohio looking to end their run. It is Ohio Gambitta versus Athletics. Up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field, say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one, it's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive, hits and pushes it over, unbelievable. We play on, it's blocked, we're tied, unbelievable.
Once again, it is a rainy afternoon on the campus of Kent State University. We are at Schoonover Stadium, a very beautiful, beautiful diamond, fully turf, beautiful everything, the full 9 yards, and this game, it's a little bit bigger than the wild cards. It is the semifinals, game 1 of 2, as Premier takes on Athletics in the 1 versus 5 battle. Once again, good afternoon, everybody. I am Nathan Smee. Josh Manier alongside me are really down a couple of chairs as we are finishing out our lineup prep. Josh, good to be with you today.
Good to be here.
This game should be a really fun one. You have 2 really good squads in Premier and Athletics. We saw Athletics earlier on. They were able to get a good 7-5 win. A lot of that came late over a talented Ohio Elite squad. I know you came and you got to see the back end of the Padres' big win over Ohio Elite in game number 2. What do you expect from this game, as it's 2 teams that you haven't seen yet play, or really a bunch of players that you've never seen play before?
Well, the good thing is I did talk to one of the coaches for Athletics, and I was just asking him, hey, what's one of the keys to the game? And he said we need some long pitching. He said the batting's been great, the defense has been great, and just like any tournament game, you want to relieve your pitchers and make sure that they are playing well, playing strong, but also playing without any fatigue. So that's going to be a little bit of an endurance game, right? A little bit of a marathon, not a sprint with these pitchers. And obviously, you pitch well, you play well. So kind of the key of the game with Athletics, obviously talking to the coaches, but the same with Premier as well.
And Premier, they are confident heading in. They have a very talented squad. You look on the mound, they have Antonio Iscano from North Royalton in his first high school game of the season. A no-no. Against a talented Massillon Perry squad, no less. Massillon Perry was off to a tough start, who eventually then they found the rhythm down the stretch, but getting that no-hitter early on was big. He could be their ace, but the question is, do you throw your ace here or do you save him? But with this Premier squad, there's like 5 guys that could be the ace. They have just so much talent. I think they're going to really impress, but as you said, the key to the game, it's a marathon, not a sprint on the mound. It's inning by inning, because if one inning goes away from you and the wheels fall off, you have to be ready to respond.
But at the same time, too, you can't overlook any game, right? You have to stay focused at the game in front of you. Sure, obviously, you're looking to the championship, but if you don't take care of business right here, all of a sudden, you're 3, you're 4, you're 5 innings in, and you're like, oh, shoot, we're down by 3, we're down by 4, because you're overlooking to the next game. It's important to stay present here, rely on your coaching, rely on your fundamentals, and don't get ahead of yourself. Enjoy the moment. Obviously, you're playing in a very nice field, a lot of turf, like you said, the whole 9 yards. It's a little bit raining, of course, so you got to stay locked in with all of that, but at the end of the day, you're playing at a Division I field. Can't get any better than that.
You said it perfectly. Still a beautiful campus, even though it is raining a good amount. But once again, you go back to the pitching. It's going to be a big factor in the hitting, too. My concern that we've seen a lot in game number 2 is the field a little bit too wet for some clean plays. Are we going to see a sloppier game, or is fundamental ball bigger than Mother Nature?
I'm going to say fundamental ball is bigger than Mother Nature. God, these guys, sure, they're in high school, but they're athletes at the end of the day. They've played a lot of ball. I'm sure that routine of, hey, step left, right, even just running from base to base, I'm sure that stuff's going to be super fundamental. Again, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall down to the level of training. And these guys, I'm sure they have all played at least 100 games of baseball. I'm sure that training is going to kick in.
And it is going to need to amid the rain. One of the best equalizers in all of athletics. The first pitch is in, and it is chopped foul off of an ankle. One of the most painful spots you can take a foul ball. First pitch clocking in at 118, so we have until 3:28 before we can no longer start any new innings. But based on the other contests that we've seen, I think we're going to live in and around that 2-hour mark, which wouldn't be a bad thing for either team as they do get a one-game grace period before the championship.
Use that time to relieve your pitchers and your batters.
And it's a great leadoff single. Clavelli, he had a very good hit to begin the last game that he played in. He leads us off with a single to left.
You got to love that if you're Athletics. Again, the coach did say the strength was the hitting, so you want to start off with guns a-blazing and being able to get your guys on base to start off. Great start. Can't ask for anything better.
And a good barrel to the ball as well. A lot of it's just the hands, and you can see that follow through. It was perfectly executed from start to finish. Now it is Zarella stepping in. First pitch blocked behind the dish by the catcher, and he's able to keep it close.
Catchers are like offensive linemen. When you don't mention them, it is a great thing. But the second that you say their name, you start to wonder what's going wrong. Now, obviously, the pitching wasn't the best right there. Definitely far away, had to make the catcher work a little bit. But again, you definitely don't like to see the ball rolling around the ground.
In the box for the Athletics, it is Louis Zarella. He had a couple of big impact plays in their win earlier today. He can be another guy that steps up. You go down to, I believe, the 8-hole with Cale Moraski, our player of the game from the first one. He had a really big 3 RBI triple to the right field corner and then an RBI single. 4 RBIs total, 2 hits, and he also got the save coming in the 7th.
And the nice thing about baseball, too, it's a game of runs. When you are hot, you are on fire. I'm expecting to see some big things from the kid later today.
And as you can see on your screen, we do have the window close, and the sun is kind of playing tricks, so sometimes the screen does get a little bit brighter than anticipated. The pitch will miss off the plate, now 2-1. And if you are a Scano right now, you need to dig deep in your bag of basics. Getting a grip right now, it's tough. And I've played in these conditions before. It is not your friend when the rain is pummeling down on you.
100%.
Check swing, did he go? And they say he did. 2-2 the count. I agree with that decision. A little bit over the plane. Escano back in a good spot to get out number 1. And to get it here would be big given the leadoff single. Escano takes his time, sets and deals the 2-2, chopped right side, and foul. Just an awkward spot to put that one. Just unfortunate that he couldn't straighten that one out. But still, it's a survival swing, and sometimes all you have to do is survive to the next pitch, and you get the one that you've been waiting for.
Builds that confidence up. Again, that batting that Athletics has been loving all tournament long, they're continuing to rely on early on in the game.
Throw back to 1, not in time. I like that move from Escano, but more of a warning shot than anything. Runner goes on the 2-2, fouled away once again into the trees.
Like Athletics mentioned, pitching is going to be huge, especially late in tournament play. If you're up to bat, you definitely want to work this pitcher, make him try his switch up a little bit. But again, making those survival swings count every single swing, super important for Athletics to start off strong.
Escano looking to get this at-bat done and dusted, and he does. It's a good swing and a miss pitch for out number 1. Goes left to right from our vantage point. No contact from Zarella.
And Athletics, again, strong with the batting. They get a little bit aggressive, a little bit of confidence. This is where the pitching for Premier could come into play. Again, not the best conditions. Let's see that changeup play into the little bag of tricks right here. And again, Kai Athletics sleeping on that one right there. Let's see if they continue the good work.
First pitch just a bit upstairs as it rings almost at the head of Gazowski.
This is the fun part about the not-so-ideal conditions. You get to see so many unique pitches. Maybe you go headhunting accidentally, I don't know. But, again, this is where the fun's like, oh, my gosh, this is not traditional pitching. But if you're Athletics, definitely got to watch out.
And the worry with this kind of steady rainfall is a potential rain delay.
Yes, that would not be fun. I'm quite hungry right now driving from Columbus, so never had a chance to get some food.
A good stolen bag into second base. Good job by Clavelli, able to get in there. But once again, you saw it at the top of your screen. He slid off the bag, an issue that we saw a lot in game number 2.
Yeah, this is where if you are the defense, you might catch a break right here for the offense. They got to watch your P's and Q's right here. Staying upright. Same thing on defense, too. Got to make sure you secure those first-time fly balls. But, again, rain's hard, man. I play football. I definitely would not like to catch a football in these conditions.
And going back to when Mount Union played BW last year, there was some rain in that second half, and that's why I went up to the press box and just wrote the article opposed to continuing the pictures.
Mount Union's a sore subject. Had to bring that up, didn't you?
Oh, of course I did. Every time with Cam I have to do it, so you have to keep that going. But I will have to say, we were at BW Stadium, George Finney Stadium, for the East-West game on Friday. Very good host, very good all the way around.
Yeah, George Finney Stadium, definitely my favorite stadium to play in as an athlete. I love the dome feel that it has, too. And obviously, with Division III football, having both stands, you realize that's a luxury. Not every stadium has that. So being able to have that and have a unique feel, definitely very blessed to call that home.
Definitely a beautiful facility. And the Earthstorm Gymnasium, one of the best, too, in the conference. Then you go to the baseball and softball diamonds, beautiful as well. A chop swing up the middle. It goes to short. The throw across is in time for out number 2. It is a good, strong chuck from across the diamond.
And while right there, obviously, Athletics didn't get their guy on first base, we're still seeing that premier hitting that the coach has alluded to pre-game. Super excited to see if Athletics can bring someone home.
No pun intended with premier hitting with Athletics.
I know. It's kind of weird. You want to say premier, you got to find different adjectives.
But definitely glad to have Premier back on the channel. One of our favorite travel organizations to be covering. They're right down the street from me. I'm in Strongsville. Their headquarters in Valley View. Overall great. And thank you as well to them again for bringing us some information before the game on these players. It makes our job a lot easier having that info ahead of time. The 1-0 blocked, now 2-0. And going back to that put out from short, that is Connor McGow over at short, a member of the mighty CVCA Royals, a squad that lost to the University School Preppers over this past week in the regional final. U.S., by that win, made their first ever Final Four. The 2-0. It skips by, and this should be the opening run of the game, and it is. That is why reading the down angle is so important in the game of baseball.
Like I said earlier, if we mention that catcher, it's never a good sign. Athletics gets a freebie right here, but you can't also just blame the catcher, too. Obviously, the pitching with the weather, not your best friend, but when you have that ball going down low, that's just going to be so hard for the catcher to do his job.
And once again, down low, it's a 4-pitch walk. The first official free pass of the day, it goes to Klasovsky, the starting pitcher from game number 1. And Klasovsky, 6 innings of work, 5 runs allowed. I believe 2 or 3 were earned. He was really good on the mound. The thing that he did so well in that outing, outside, all of a sudden on a 2-strike count, he brings it inside, and you're swinging out of your shoes.
Absolutely. If you're able to time up that changeup beautifully, you're going to be a deadly pitcher. And again, when you're a hitter, right, you're expecting the same old, like these pitchers, they're getting fatigued, they're getting tired, they're not going to want to rely on their changeup. If you can find a crucial changeup, especially late in tournament play, it is going to be so deadly with the hitting swing.
Kostalnik over at first base, shaken up. That is the runner, Klasovsky. He got tripped up with Kostalnik over at first base. Just an awkward play. The throw went a little bit wide to first. He tripped over the runner. It happens in these conditions as the rain, it is continuing to pour down, maybe even more steady than before.
Got to be very blessed that we're in a press box right now and not in the open elements. I did not bring an umbrella. I did not bring a hoodie, so I would be drenched right now.
And if we weren't in a press box, we probably wouldn't be here.
This is very true as well.
The tent can only do so much in conditions like this, as Cam would know as he is back. Just an interesting start to this game. We saw yesterday our opener was won because of a passed ball. It was Mash Factory's game to win. The Midwest Stars, they controlled it throughout the whole game. In the end, they allowed 2 runs at the end, and that was their undoing. I believe we will be seeing the Mash Factory again tomorrow, as they did win the opener today against Don Marchetta's Ohio Elite squad. So I think that will be one of the 4 teams that we get to see tomorrow at Lakewood.
And something else to mention, too, obviously we talk about fundamentals a lot. At the end of the day, these are still high schoolers, right? Sure, they might be some of the best, but they're still kids, right? 16, 17, 18, they're still prone to make mistakes.
Runner goes, and on the transfer, no contest. That's another runner in scoring position.
Athletics dominating early on. And obviously, when you have the chance to set the tone and you set it well, it just rings precedent for the standard of what this game is going to be. Expecting Athletics, especially on offense, to go guns a-blazing.
Now a 2-0 count, and to your point about going guns a-blazing, it's good to do that, but when the ball is not near the zone because of these conditions, there's only so much you can do, and a lot of that's just sitting there and waiting.
Playing the patience game, which, again, Athletics is doing a great job of, but you can tell they're itching to hit a huge one out, trying to test the outfield. I can tell Athletics, they're just chomped at the bit to make some contact.
We are yet to see a home run in these finals, if you will, including the wild card. So wouldn't mind to see it in this game, and I think you have a lot of guys who definitely can. Down low, skips wide to the right. Petrie able to get over there, but no contest, down to third, and that puts the runner 90 feet away. And with this steady rain, I mentioned it earlier, I kind of think we're going to see a pause at some point, just the way it's going. If it's going to clear up in 15, you take 15, and we've already seen almost one player get hurt over at first base. It's a tough call to make. The players want to be out here, but there's only so much they can do amid these conditions.
You never know, though. The rain can always be a deal breaker, too.
And the rain just gave run number 2 to Athletics. The down angle once again helps out the 5 seed. Second straight walk, put a runner back on the base path. It's the 5 seed, up by 2. And with that rain, it's tough, and I think Premier is making their case for this one to be postponed for the time being.
Yeah, when you go back-to-back where your catcher has to make some extremely difficult catches, I think you hit the delay, and it looks like they're doing that right now.
And I think we both agree with that decision. It's a tough one to make, but you kind of have to do it. Just with the way this has gone, you take 5, take 10, and then you reassess. But with that, we will be stepping aside for this break. It is a rain delay at Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State. Athletics up 2-0, courtesy of 2 pass balls. We will be back on in a few minutes with an update when we get one. This is the 2025 Kent State Invite 1 of 4 semifinals on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Still in a weather delay here at Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. 2-0 your score as the Athletics are up on Premier. So far, just kind of what you would expect from this game amid the rain. It is still coming down pretty steadily off to our side and in front of us. Once we have a firm concrete update, or if we see the players come back into their dugouts, we will update. Otherwise, we are still under a weather delay. As expected, this will then push back the other games that we have today to a later time. We will try to figure out how late that the games can actually be pushed, that we still play them all today, but we will update that when we know in a little bit. Yep, we're still here. Still a weather delay, and you can see on your screen, puddles are starting to form around the pitcher's mound. We were told a little while ago that we were just waiting on the umpires. It was a pretty stagnant rain, not much coming down. Now the steadiness has returned, so it is not looking good that we will be playing this game in the next 45 minutes, I would say. Maybe we can get it in if it stops, but we still have to do 2 more games after this. We will have updates when we have them, but as of right now, as the field is starting to take in a lot more water, we're just hoping to at least get this game in or an equivalent game if they even just opt to get the top 2 seeds in the championship and then opt to go and let the other 2 play at another time or after this one if there is time for that. That could be something that happens, as I was talking to a couple of the coaches, and they said that could be done where the top 2 seeds remaining play each other, and that's your championship game. As the top 2 teams, they earn that right, and if you can only get 1 game in, you got to get the championship. But still, it's all hearsay for the time being. You can see it on your screen. Not looking good. We'll be back on in a couple minutes just to kind of pass the time, talk about some things, preview games that are happening in the future. But for now, we are still in monsoon season under weather delay. Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. The decision has finally been made. All the games here have been canceled for this afternoon, and I actually just got the text as well from Neil, as that'll do it for the first weekend of our coverage of the 965 Midwest Tournament Challenge. We got 2 games in, and Josh, you got maybe 25 pitches in at most.
Yeah, I guess it's bad luck to start off my debut for SmeeSports, but you know what? I'm going to be on the call tomorrow, so it should be good.
Hopefully. I don't know exactly the weather out in Cleveland. The Lakewood Field, it's known to be able to hold water very well, as we did have a storm the day that we did the Lakewood St. Ed's game, and we were able to play that contest. If we're getting this over in Cleveland and there's not enough time for it to dry up tomorrow, then that might just be one that gets pushed to Tuesday, which would be really unfortunate. That's the unfortunate side of travel ball and really athletics in Northeast Ohio. You go to Columbus where the lacrosse championship games are happening, and it's clear.
Exactly. It's Mother Nature can be cruel sometimes, but luckily the athletes, they know the deal when they've played baseball, right? You got rainouts left and right, so they're prepared for this. I mean, you got a guy right now, you see the broadcast, he's literally slip and sliding without his shirt on. He's just enjoying the vibes, man. Like, you got to appreciate that. Got to smile through the rain.
You might as well go out there and have some fun at this point. You made the drive out here. Just unfortunate all the way around. You really can't blame them for calling it. You see the diamond. There's water leaking away from the mound. We've seen a lot of guys go slip and slide over at second base, one of which resulted in and out. It happens. For next week's coverage, we will let you know what our plans are. I think, given this cancellation, I'm going to talk with Neil and the rest of the staff over there. I think we're going to add in some midweek games to kind of offset these, well, total of 3 games, or really 2 and 6 2/3 innings.
Right.
To offset the rest, we'll probably do a couple games midweek, probably towards the back end of the week. Then we'll be back at it on Sunday with another competition at a location to be determined later. Don't know exactly right now where, but once we have that information, we will let you know, and it will be updated on our social media. And as well, once we know who is going to be in the Final Four for the Tim Lally Memorial Diamond League Tournament tomorrow, we will have the links uploaded and ready to go for those. From what I've seen, a lot of the games, especially the ones in the Cleveland area, have been playing today. Mount and Louisville have had some postponements, but from what I've seen, I think they're going to get every single one of their games in. The Kenton area getting a little less rain than we are here. Just kind of the luck of the draw here at Kent State this afternoon. Still a beautiful complex,
yes,
despite the rain.
At the end of the day, if you're an athlete here, you could say I got to play at a Division I baseball field. Like, it can't get much better than that.
Not at all. To stay up to date on all the games we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter. As well, subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. It costs nothing and greatly helps out our efforts here at SmeeSports. But that'll do it for our attempt of game number 3. It has been canceled. It was 2-0, 2 pass balls. That's kind of just what happens in this kind of weather. Josh, any final thoughts?
Athletics looked like they came out ready to play. I was really excited for them. I thought they could have taken the game if it continued, but obviously we will never know.
And we will see if this game does ever get replayed. I don't know if it will. It might just be added on to another tournament, or that could be a pool play game that happens just to see what would have happened. But as well, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the area, contact me at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. And apparently Clutch Baseball was here the whole time. Their whole squad has just walked out. I believe they were in the clubhouse just kind of getting ready to go for a game that was supposed to start in 3 minutes, but will never happen. But once again, that'll do it from Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. He's Josh Manier. I am Nathan Smee saying so long from the monsoon, and we will see you tomorrow. This has been SmeeSports' coverage of the 2025 Kent State Invite Semifinals, and we will see you again tomorrow. And then for the 965 fans, next week for some more exciting tournament baseball.